Hi guys, welcome to another perfume review. Today I'll be sharing my thoughts on Guerlain's Shalimar L'Essence. This was actually launched just last year in 2025, created by the in-house perfumer Delphine Yelp, and it celebrates 100 years of Shalimar, which was first introduced in 1925. It's honestly crazy to think this is still going strong after a century, a true testament to Jacques Guerlain's unmatched talent. I first sniffed this when I was in Singapore, but I didn't pull the trigger yet because it reminded me so much of Shalimar Mélissine Vanilla Planifolia MVP, the first release from the Mélissine line, and also my personal favorite. So even though I loved it, I didn't impulse buy it. I just sat on it, I marinated on it for a while. And then when I traveled to Japan just late last November, early December last year, I decided to revisit it properly, like give it a full wear, test it in a different setting, different weather, just to see how it truly performs. And yeah, it still reminded me so much of MVP, but this one felt a little bit more modern, a bit more mass appealing, of course, like in a good way. And the price was just too good to pass on. So I picked up the 50 ml for 16,929 yen. This was already tax free at the Takashimaya Mall in Tokyo. Now let's talk about the packaging. Let's open it up so you can see how it looks. That's the box, and this is the bottle. I mean, the bottle is the same as their, you know, original design, but I've been quite vocal about the design, especially the typography. I'm not the biggest fan of breaking up, the letters. It just doesn't sit right with me, but again, that's subjective. And I can look past it because the scent itself is just that good. That said, for a 100-year milestone, you would think they make it a little more special. I even made my own designs on Instagram. You can check it out just to see if Guerlain would notice. And yeah, I just think they could have put a bit more thought and effort into such an incredible milestone for Shalimar, but alas, we have this. Now, let's dive into the scent. I mean, there's no surprise. I'm a big Shalimar fan. I have the OG, I have the Milliseams, multiple flankers of it. I'm already looking forward to the Rose one coming this year. So, yeah, this one naturally had to be added to my collection. For me, this is essentially MVP, but less salty. Because when I actually compare the two side by side, MVP had this slightly salty facet to it, but if you're not dissecting it too closely in the air, they're almost identical. They're practically identical, especially the dry down. Like, it's impossible to tell them apart. There's no leather here, there's no animalic touch here. It, it's stripped off all that vintage edge in the OG and goes straight into this beautiful vanilla tonka direction. The essence has this airy, fluffy, almost whipped vanilla ice cream quality to it. It's not syrupy sweet. So if you like your gourmands, to hit you with that sugary sweetness, this doesn't. It leans more into that ambery sweetness from the tonka beans, which gives it that soft whipped kind of texture. The performance here is great. I don't know how they did it, but it just lasts and lasts on my skin. My favorite here is actually the dry down, and in the background there's just a hint of smoke. Not heavy, not burnt, but more like when you lift a glass cloche or a bell jar off a cocktail at a fancy bar. That's what it kind of gives off. It gives this aromatic smoke. It just makes your toes kind of curl in pleasure. It's so good. This one is for the vanilla lovers out there, and even for those who don't usually go for vanilla, I think you would still really enjoy this. They've hit the mark here with trying to make Shalimar more current, trying to target the new generation. So kudos to the team at Guerlain for creating such a gorgeous, gorgeous version of Shalimar. And yeah, I'm curious, have you tried this yet? Are you a fan of this Shalimar, or do you prefer the more classic OG classic DNA of Shalimar? And if you have the MVP version, which do you prefer? Let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching.